Hey YouTubers, how's it going? Thought today would cover the topic of ick. I had a video request about 3 weeks ago on how to treat ick, as it's a very well discussed topic. Not a whole lot of people understand what to do yet, even though it's a bug that's been around probably ever since aquariums have been brought out. So to start off, right off the bat, a lot of people use different medications. Me personally, I do not use any medications. I don't use any other treatments. Not that I haven't in the past. I have. I've used very many medications, however, they've never worked out, they've made things worse, or maybe they worked out once in a great while. The reason behind this is you're taking medication, you're adding it to a tank, and you're putting in non-natural things into your aquarium. Now your water levels will be thrown off, and things are going to get worse for you. Now, the reason for your fish to have ick could be one of just a couple things. One, maybe your water is too cold. Two, there could be stress going on inside or outside of the aquarium. And three, maybe it's just an unhealthy fish in general. Always check your water quality when it comes to ick. It's the first thing I recommend to check out. If your water quality is poor, it can stress out the fish or even damage the fish. With ammonia and nitrite, both of which can burn off your slime coat on your fish, weaken their immune system, and allow ick parasites to attach to a fish. Now, a lot of people say, hey, I got this ick from this pet shop and that's why it's in my aquarium. Not necessarily. For example, I bought a cowfish, a longhorn cowfish, brought it into my aquarium, had no issues with it for the first 24 hours. I knew that it was at the pet shop for about 2 weeks without any issues. After about 48 hours, he had ick on him. Now, why would this be? I checked my water levels and see that my nitrates are about 80. Now, he went from an aquarium where maybe the nitrates were probably about 15 to 20 to an 80. Nothing else was wrong with the water, but just that simple stress is added on to the fact that he was caught out of the aquarium, stresses out a fish already, stuck into a box, traveled all the way to my location, we'll make that a third point I guess, and then thrown into an aquarium that he's not used to. All of these factors lead up to stress, which can weaken the immune system on a fish. It is the same way with people. When you have an exam or a job interview coming up and you are all stressed out and trying to get all prepared for it, and everything's stressing you out for the entire day, you usually get sick the day before the exam or the day of the exam, and it's not a coincidence. It's because your immune system just can't handle all the stress you're putting on it. It's a natural thing. It happens to everything, even animals, obviously. This is my venomous fish tank. I don't really have any fish in here that are going to have any issues as far as ick specifically. I will say that the toadfish had ick after about probably the first day. I noticed some spots of ick, but they went off almost immediately just because the water is kept really warm. Now that's another factor where ick falls off. Well, we'll start off. It latches on your fish when it's weak. The slime coat is the little wet kind of coating on them. Usually when you catch a bluegill out in fishing, you notice that your hands are all wet and slimy. That's a slime coat. That's a healthy fish. Fish with a healthy slime coat usually don't have ick because the parasites, they're little white bugs that have to latch onto the fish. If they try to latch on, they just get under the slime coat, they slide right off. They can't get a good hold onto the fish. Now, ick is just like a tick for a human, except for a greater number at one time. When they get large enough, after about 7 days, they fall off, they reproduce, and then they start the whole process again by reattaching to the stressed out fish. Now, if your water temperature is about 82 to 84 degrees, 83, 84 being the higher end where it's been 2 weeks and you still notice some spots of ick, 82 is the average to start out with, which is what I do personally with all my aquariums, they fall off and usually they kick off. Some of them die off because of the high heat, because ick cannot handle high heat. A lot of times people see a lot of ick outbreaks going on in their aquarium when they're about 76 to 78 degrees. It's just not warm enough to kick them off. 82 degrees and even 84 degrees, which stick with 82, be better for you, is warm enough to not harm any of the fish or your coral or cause any issues to your inverts as well. But it's just warm enough to kill off the ick for you when it falls off. Now, it's not a given thing. It's not going to be the only thing you have to do. Of course, check your water quality. If anything is off, if you have ammonia or nitrite or nitrates, high nitrates, do a water change. Take some of that water out the day of that you find it out. Then, when you're all done with all that, water looks good, temperature's kicked up, let the tank sit. Do not go inside of the aquarium to catch the fish out of the aquarium, because not only are you stressing out that fish even more to make it even more susceptible to getting ick on it, but you're stressing out the rest of the tank mates in the aquarium. If stress is given to that one fish and it has ick, that doesn't mean that the rest of the fish are not going to get ick, whether or not you've had them in your aquarium for 2 weeks or 3 years. They're still susceptible to it if your fish are stressed out. leave the aquarium alone. Let the fish with ick inside of your aquarium, keep it there. Moving it is not going to change the situation. Ick is always present in an aquarium, same as the common cold is always present in a human's area or whatever, society pretty much. You can get sick at any moment in time just because it's waiting for your immune system to lower, and when it does, it attacks you and you get sick. Same idea with fish. Keep the fish inside of the aquarium. Make sure there's no stress going on inside and outside of the aquarium. Outside, I mean walking past, back and forth in front of it, or moving larger objects, or running back and forth, or banging on the glass. All things that would stress out a fish in general. And inside of the aquarium, such as moving live rock, moving heaters. I noticed the ick reappeared on the cowfish when I was moving around some live rocks, which shows to me that he's a very touchy kind of fish, but it fell off after about a week again because I hadn't gone into the aquarium. So, if your fish is eating, he has a good slime coat, the water quality is perfect, your temperature is fine, after about 7 to 14 days, you should notice that that ick is eliminated. You will no longer see it back in your aquarium because if you have a healthy, happy fish, there is no reason for that ick to stay around inside of your aquarium. It is a perfect, surefire way to make sure that you get rid of the parasite inside of your aquarium without using products. For a man who's worked now at the second location of a pet shop at retail, I know for a fact that a lot of products that are put out there are mainly for money. People want money, money runs the world. You always have to keep that in mind when doing the saltwater fish hobby, or freshwater fish hobby in general as well. A lot of different ideas for saltwater fish tank keeping, for parasite treating, for fungal infection treating. Some of them work very, very well, but when it comes to ick, it's really as simple as it sounds. Water quality, heat, no stress. That is all you need. If that fish is eating and doing just fine in the aquarium, that ick will fall off in no time. That is all I have for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Soon I'll have an update on the 150-gallon venomous fish tank. It should hopefully happen within the next couple days, maybe weeks. And we've got a shark out here that's ready to hatch in the next 2 weeks too. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe, like below, and I'll see you all next time.